Well, it's Monday, May 2nd at a little before 9 a.m. and I've been out in the garden looking. We've got some developments. The broomcorn is doing nicely. The four in the back have been transplanted a few days ago and they're growing nicely. Up front I put some more in there, but they haven't popped yet. Lemon cucumber, disappointment. I don't know why. There's one here, there's one there. I'm not getting any buds. Don't know what's going on there. We've got, let's see, which one is this? Scallop squash. And that's kind of moving along. We've got the corn here, which I'll probably eventually transplant into another planter box. Bean plant. Now we start getting into the actual news. We've got the other bean plants that we had in this planter box. We've got this one, which is still growing nicely, despite the grasshopper attack there at the top. If I can sort of zoom in, you can kind of see what the grasshopper does to the end of it. But it seems to be quite healthy despite that, and he hasn't come back and chopped it down like at the base or something, which would really upset me. We've got another, I think that's another pole bean right there. We've got the peas that are doing good. There's a pea pod that's growing nicely. Probably about halfway, I'd say. We've got the other flowers dying off and turning into a pea pod. So, the first potential harvest. Or at least I'm thinking that's probably the first thing I'll end up harvesting, and I'll explain that in a moment. We've got another bean plant, a hybrid squash. We got a Dixie squash here. We got something in this one. What's in here? Does it actually say anything? See, this is my problem. This is why I've started trying to label things more religiously this year, because I don't know what's in that pot right now. That may be the lima bean. We've got another spaghetti squash, and I noticed that on this one there's a little tendril kind of sticking off, so I'm guessing spaghetti squash is going to be more of a climber. Well, here's where the real sort of excitement begins. I've got a yellow flower on one of my squash plants. And another yellow flower. And two more yellows about to pop. There's another squash plant that isn't flowering yet, but I've got some downstairs that are flowering, so that has me excited. Over here we've got the tomato. We've got flowers up here. We haven't been getting any fruit, but this is the second year on this plant, so if I get anything out of it, I'll be happy. Otherwise, it just makes for a nice sort of green spot. Nothing else up here. Hang on a second. So now I'm downstairs, and these are the three bean plants that I moved down here. They don't really seem to be doing a whole heck of a lot. The reason I'm out here earlier is because I wanted to see what the early morning sun is around here, because I've got so many things growing. I want to figure out where the sun patterns are and where to put things. And also see if I can find some new spots to actually put more pots, which you'll understand in a moment. So here's a major part of the reason. I transplanted the one on... Actually, I'm not sure when I transplanted these. I think this one here, the first one, the right one, was transplanted a while ago. I transplanted the left one yesterday in hopes that I wouldn't kill off the flowers, and there they are. Beautiful flowers up there. Both of these are, well, see, we get Dixie here, and we get Scallop. So the Dixie is starting to flower. We got another Dixie here, we got the watermelon. Oh, we've got flowers starting to pop in these pots that had 3 each. One of these was transplanted over to one of the smaller pots. And I'll get more smaller pots going and figure out how to reorganize everything. But that's, you know, a major part of the excitement here, is that all these flowers are popping. And the coup de grace is still growing. Okay, it's Wednesday, May 4th at a little past 11. Here's the update. Watermelon doing okay. The broomcorn, actually, I don't know how well you can see this, but the 4 that I planted in the front are starting to pop. And those little green pellets are some Miracle Grow that I threw in last night. frankly, the watering is now becoming more of a chore than a distraction between all the plants I have up here and all I have downstairs. Anyway, one of the lemon cucumbers finally popped. I noticed it last night, just sort of hiding underneath the soil, so I cleared a little soil off of it, and that's the growth I've had since yesterday. We've got a scallop squash here, one of many. Another pot for lemon cucumber, nothing in there. One for spaghetti, the asparagus beans, nothing there yet. Corn's getting bigger, probably needs a transplant before too long. Bean is still healthy. Other beans, working our way up. I've got what looks to be a little flower here that will eventually pop and become a string bean. The peas. We've got one pod here, another one growing over here, another pea here. We got our hybrid and a Dixie, another unidentified pot, another spaghetti squash, another scallop, and I've transplanted another, this is a Dixie and hybrid. Sun hasn't quite made it. These are like some of the cheapest pots I have that I've had for the longest time. I'm going to have to start giving away plants. I have to figure out how to do that. We've got flowers up at the top of the tomato plant. I keep looking down for water down here, down at the bottom in the little tray underneath there, and I'm not seeing much for water, and I keep adding water to this plant, so it's just got to be sucking up water like crazy. Oh, wow. I just noticed down here. Oh my god. Okay, you're seeing this for the first time as I'm seeing it. There's a tomato. I don't believe it. There's a tomato. Maybe the sun's too intense because this kind of gets caught in the corner, but there's a tomato. I now have reason to continue to try and keep this plant alive, see if I can get another tomato off of it. That's a big surprise. And then there's downstairs. There's the real big squash. It seems to still be doing okay. I'm not seeing any big yellow flowers on it right now, and I still don't know what type of squash it is, but it's still alive. That's the good news. And then there's the progress here. Not much in that one flower pot there. But the watermelon down here is doing a little better than upstairs, although one upstairs seems to be catching up a bit. Another Dixie, spaghetti, scallop, Dixie, a couple of trees, some flowers, and down front we've got the straight neck on the left. We've got 3 of those that need some transplanting so they can grow bigger, and the 2 more Dixies in here. So you can see I got a lot of Dixies and straight necks. I just seriously overplanted thinking nothing would take, but then they took. So that's it for today.